Tonight, 11 Alive's Molly Oak is looking into the criminality of this case and the laws on driving without a license here in Georgia.
Yeah, Ron and Jennifer, we've seen people's questions about what legally can happen if you're pulled over without a license. Tonight, we're getting you answers.
A lot of us are being treated as criminals.
Driving without a license.
It shouldn't put you in jail. It shouldn't deprive you of your livelihood. It shouldn't deprive you of your schooling.
So what is the typical punishment in Georgia?
It's not a felony, but it is a misdemeanor. The punishments vary. It's usually a fairly light punishment on the first offense. And then like most misdemeanors, the more often it's repeated, the higher the offense becomes.
State Representative Casey Carpenter says Jimena has an international license. John Acevedo, an associate dean with Emory University School of Law, says there are ways to get a license in our state if you're here legally.
You can obtain a license in Georgia if you have a valid visa, passport, even if it's from a foreign country. So really the difficulty becomes if you're undocumented.
He says if everything is valid, someone driving without a license typically wouldn't land in jail.
They would usually just simply temporarily impound the car, and then you could go pick it up once you have someone with a valid license present.
But he says this case is not typical.
A mistaken stop followed by a person without a valid license being arrested, of course, because of the combination of the multiple offenses the officer thought she was guilty of. But even then, as was noted, she would probably have been released on her own recognizance had she not then been requested for an immigration hold by ICE.
Acevedo says if it had been a U.S. citizen
who made an illegal turn, was driving without a license, even if they were taken to the police station, they probably would never even seen more than the holding cell.
Now, this is a case 11 Alive has been following since the very beginning. To read more about Jimena and her father's future legal fights, head to 11alive.com. Jennifer.